Moon on a Rainbow Shawl is a play by Errol John, an African-Caribbean playwright and actor. It is a yard play with the setting of the two dilapidated buildings make up this backyard property of Old Max in the East Dry River District, in Port of Spain, Trinidad. Today we will cover the summary, analysis, important themes and character analysis of Moon on a Rainbow Shawl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. The play begins on a sweltering night after a hard, hot day in the yard between two rundown buildings. Ephraim, just a trolley bus driver, returns home to find Esther Adams, a pretty, almond-eyed, Creole girl of 12, caring for her infant brother. They engage in conversation about Esther's desire to attend high school, hindered by her family's financial constraints. She had won a scholarship by the government, books, yes, but uniforms and other things you have to get yourself, which was hard for her family to afford to send her to secondary school. Ephraim, harboring envy for Esther's potential for a brighter future, encourages her aspirations. Mavis and a young American sailor come into the yard from the street. She is a thin, wiry young woman. She is a prostitute who lives in the same yard and has an ongoing verbal battle with Sophia Adams, Esther's mother. Later, Sophia Adams comes into the yard from the street. She is a plump red-skinned woman, in her late 30s. Hard times and worry have lined her, so that she looks somewhat older. As Ephraim dozes off, Rosa, his lover, accompanied by Old Mac, their landlord and her employer, returns to the yard. Rosa is 18, an orphan raised by nuns. She wears earrings of solid gold, given to her by Old Mac. Old Mac is 65, a miser and quite wealthy man. Despite Rosa's protests, Old Mac assaults her when Sophia intrudes. He breaks away tugging at his tie in embarrassment. He backs away from the women mumbling inarticulate apologies. Sophia warns Rosa, noticing her expensive gifts, earrings, wristwatch, new clothes and all kinds of fancy shoes and things you taking from this old man. I suppose he right to seek his rights. Sophia then questions Rosa when you go and tell him about informing Ephraim of Rosa's pregnancy, to which Rosa admits she has not yet done so. Rosa then awakens Ephraim, but he dismisses her advances and bids her to leave. The following morning, police investigate a robbery at the cafe where Rosa works and is owned by Old Mac. Rosa informs Sophia about the incident, $70, and some small change we had left in the register, intending to disclose it to Ephraim later. When Rosa leaves with a policeman, Ephraim overhears their conversation and enters the yard. Ephraim's suspicious behavior of avoiding Rosa, Sophia tells him, "You up to something? What it is I don't know. But I'd swear you up to something." Then Prince, Mavis's wealthy boyfriend, arrives to take her to the beach for an outing. Later, Charlie, Sophia's inebriated husband, returns home. He was a former professional cricket player who was laid off due to institutional racism and him standing up for his rights. Upon seeing him, Rosa goes quickly into her room, having recognized Charlie's hat found at the scene of the robbery and deducing that it was Charlie who had robbed Old Mac's cafe. That night, Mavis returns with a soldier. In Ephraim's room, he rejects Rosa's advances. She tells police found his hat under the counter by the cash register, indicating Charlie's involvement in the robbery, fearing about his potential arrest. Ephraim, angered by the situation, admonishes Rosa for risking the Adams family when Old Mac, despite being wealthy, could afford the loss, and for accepting his lavish gifts. He discloses, "Tomorrow night, this time so. I gone." For 1,000 miles across the sea, to Liverpool, unaffected by Rosa's revelation of her pregnancy. He thinks it's trap to stop him from going to Liverpool. "Don't think a little trap like you could catch me, just by Savon you're going to have a baby fair May." He even narrates a harrowing tale of how when his parents abandoned him, his grandmother cared for him but he let her die in a poor house because I began to make my plans. I find that she was in my way. I wanted to save money, but she was in my way. On Rosa's desperate pleas, Ephraim lifts her off the ground and literally throws the girl out Ophi's room, hurling her dress, shoes and the shawl after her, and slams the door on her. The following morning, Rosa tells Sophia that she broke the pregnancy news to Ephraim. Sophia comforts her and tells her to go inside. Prince arrives to meet Mavis but sees the soldier with her. The three get into a physical altercation with Mavis running down the road screaming while Prince pursued her. Sophia hands bats to Charlie to mend. While mending bats for a living, Charlie shares with Ephraim his past professional cricket playing memories and the reason for getting fired. Then Mavis comes in, a Johnson's band-aid under one eye, and displaying a ring on her left hand. Prince follows some distance behind looking sheepish. Mavis is chanting the wedding march. She announces their engagement and he say he go make a respectable woman out of May, while Prince tells her, and from now on none of this Yankee stupidness. Old Mac comes to see Rosa, who took an off day for being sick. Before leaving, he tells Charlie that Stephen, an employee of the cafe, was going to be arrested soon for the theft. Charlie, fearing Stephen's arrest for the crime, confesses to Sophia about robbing the cafe. Sophia suggests involving Rosa to return the stolen money to Old Mac. Overhearing, Ephraim demands the money from Sophia to return it, hoping to shield Charlie. However, as the police arrive, as Sophia reaches for the money in Charlie's pocket and arrests Charlie. Later that afternoon, Mavis and Prince discuss the Adams family situation while Mavis decides to cook and offers Esther food, who returns home to find it empty. A boy comes to get the bat which Charlie had earlier mended. He informs Esther and Sophia that he recommended Charlie to his principal for the position of the coach and the job is his, if he wants it. Sophia, unable to afford bail, informs Esther about the situation. Distraught, Esther blames her mother and runs away. If Daddy did what you say he did, is you always pushing him and making him feel shame in front of all kinds of people. Rosa informs Sophia that Old Mac said the matter was out of his hands, despite Ephraim being the father of her child. Rosa has given up on him, having been intimate with no one else. The scene ends with both women consoling each other. In the evening, Ephraim packs his belongings while Sophia returns home, having searched in vain for Esther. Despite Sophia's confrontation about abandoning a pregnant Rosa, Ephraim departs in a taxi. Sophia tries to comfort Rosa, the baby born. We help look after it for your. Their conversation is interrupted by Old Mac, calls from Rosa's room. The play ends with Esther's return. It should give the impression that the future could still be hers. Let's analyze Moon on a Rainbow Shawl. John brilliantly captures the Caribbean atmosphere and locality, with all its sights and sounds in Moon on a Rainbow Shawl, which is a microcosm of a diverse array of characters and social strata. From a calypso player to a policeman, a former cricketer, a taxi driver, a drunken father, and a miser landlord. It also mentions passing vendors selling fish and ice, while local children play nearby. The atmosphere brims with the vibrant essence of communal living. The dialogue pulsates with Caribbean dialect and poetic expressions such as Esther's poetry recital. The singular set of dilapidated houses arranged on the narrow stage exudes a colorful yet suffocating atmosphere, punctuated by life's cacophony. Guitar songs, children's playful chants such as 1, 2, 3, mother catch a flea, whistling, vendors as calls, and heated arguments. The narrative explores themes of heat, sexuality, poverty, immigration, and desperation. Errol John adeptly captures the nuances of women's banter such as Sophia and Mavis's verbal battles, respects parental authority such as Esther's compliance of Sophia's authority, and delves into emotions like nostalgia, sadness, and hopelessness. The return of West Indian soldiers long after World War II, signifying their sacrifices. Cricket symbolizes the island's cultural and national identity. Migration dreams for a better life, exploitation of the poor by the wealthy, women's suffering, and the influence of foreign currency are also central themes. The depiction of poverty highlights the character's desperation. Ephraim embodies a genuine yearning for opportunities alongside an obstinate determination to break free and escape to England in hope of a better life. Errol John depicts the struggles of the community where the neighbors live closely together, striving to carve out a decent life amidst their cramped surroundings. The intertwining of their lives and forced intimacy is obvious in the ongoing squabbles between Sophia and Mavis, while Sophia comes to care for Rosa. Ephraim's yearning to break free from the island's limited prospects is also heightened due to Charlie's unfulfilled aspirations. The monotonous routine of Ephraim's job as a trolley bus driver mirrors the tediously repetitive daily life. 8 hours a day up Henry Street, down Park Street, Tragarete Road, St. James Terminus, turn it round. Back downtown again. And around again. Oh Gord! John explores the themes of immigration, the challenges confronted by the locals, dashed hopes, and the aspirations of a post-war society struggling with poverty. Set in the aftermath of World War II in Old Mac's rundown yard cramped with shanty rental homes, Moon on a Rainbow Shawl spotlights on the Adams family. particularly Ephraim's quest to escape the destitution of the slums amid the returning soldiers. In Moon on a Rainbow Shawl, John elevates the resilience and optimism of the female characters amid the shortcomings of the men in the play. Rosa, who is callously abandoned, refuses to embrace a victimhood. She asserts her independence from men, expressing readiness for any challenge that "now I'm ready for anything, after Ephraim teach me good." She realizes her self-respect, declaring, "Wedding ring's too cheap to have to kiss one man foot for, and I ain't fillin' my eye with water fair no man." The child she carries symbolizes hope rather than a burden, embodying resilience in the face of adversity. While Sophia and Mavis engage in occasional bickering, they mirror each other's struggles, showcasing different approaches to survival in a constrained environment. Despite Sophia's disapproval of Mavis' involvement in prostitution among decent people, Mavis proves her capability by consistently paying her rent on time. Ultimately, Mavis achieves her goal of securing Prince's affection and becoming respectable. Now let's analyze the two important characters of Moon on a Rainbow Shawl. Sophia emerges as the symbol of strength within the play, providing support not only to her husband and daughter but also serving as a friend to Ephraim and Rosa. Despite the toll of hardship and worry visible in the lines etched on her face, hard times and worry have lined her, so that she looks somewhat older. She is the backbone of her family, effectively managing the affairs of the household. While she maintains a close bond with both Rosa and Ephraim, it is Sophia's unwavering dedication as a washerwoman and seamstress that sustains the family during Charlie's unemployment. Esther's accusation of Sophia's complicity in Charlie's criminal actions, attributing it to her relentless pushing and shaming, always pushing him, and making him feel shame in front of all kinds of people, suggests their strained relationship. Despite moments of criticism and reproach directed at Charlie, Sophia also displays maternal tenderness, offering comfort such as when he confesses to his crime, she consoles him, "Hush now, boy. Hush. Hush. Sophie will find a way." Sophia expresses deep affection for him to Rosa. "I know the many times he was worth a bowlful of tears." Despite her hard, unyielding, decisive and a bit of a bully personality, Sophia has profound capacity for love and care, essential for the survival of not only herself but her family as well. Ephraim emerges as a compassionate figure, particularly in his interactions with Esther, whom he cherishes like a younger sibling. He swiftly rebuffs Mavis's inappropriate insinuations regarding Esther as he tells Mavis to cut that, about private lessons, asserting his protective role with quiet authority. Ephraim consistently encourages Esther's academic pursuits, celebrating her achievements of winning scholarship, and even suggesting the idea of leaving the island to pursue her studies. "You know, Esther, when you grow up it would be kind of nice if you could go away and study on an island scholarship or something. Come back big. You know. Make everybody respect you." Initially embodying a gentle form of masculinity, represented by his tender care for the baby and his lyrical speeches about hope and aspiration. "Dream your dreams, little man. Dream your dreams, and Esther, if you have your head screw on right, no matter where you go one night, sometime you reach up, you touch that moon." However, Ephraim's character becomes tarnished by his complex relationship with Rosa. The intimate bedroom scene highlights his selfishness and moral ambiguity, as he rejects Rosa's pregnancy revelation and later displays outright hostility towards the idea of fatherhood, shocking both Rosa and Sophia with his callous dismissal of the situation. "So what? The baby born. It live. It dead. It make no difference to me." This stark contrast reveals Ephraim's darker side with abandoning his grandmother, challenges the audience's perception of his character. Hope you like, share and subscribe.